Good morning all. Today we are going to deal with normal radiographic anatomical landmarks. So these are the contents. We are going to deal with the radiographic anatomical landmarks of teeth, supporting structures, the structures of maxilla and the mandible. So starting with introduction, we know that in the radiograph, the structures will appear very opaque and very lucid. So what are the structures that appears very opaque and which structures will appear very lucid? What are the reason for that is explained in this step. So radio opaque means it refers to the light area on the film. Structures that are absorbers of X-rays block the X-rays from reaching the film. So the dense structures, which are strong absorbers, will appear radio opaque. Whereas the radiolucency refers to a dark area on the film, the structures that are less dense, poor absorbers, and they appear radiolucent. So moving on to the landmarks of the teeth. The teeth are composed primarily of dentine with an enamel cap over the coronal portion and a thin layer of cementum over the root surface. So this is the enamel cap, the dentine, the pulp, and the thin layer of cement. We will see in detail all these structures. Enamel. First is enamel. The enamel cap characteristically appears more radiopaque than the other tissues because it is the most dense naturally occurring substance in the body. Because it is 90% mineralized, it causes greatest attenuation of X-ray photons. Hence, it appears more radiopaque in the radiograph. Next is dentine. The dentine is about 75% mineralized and it appears radiopaque. Because of its low mineral content, the radiographic appearance is roughly comparable to that of bone. Cementum. The thin layer of cementum on the root surface has a mineral content of 50% comparable to that of dentine. But cementum is not usually apparent radiographically because the contrast between it and the dentine is so low and the cementum layer is so thin. Next is the pulp. The pulp of normal teeth is composed of soft tissue and consequently it appears radiolucent. The chambers and root canals containing the pulp extend from the interior of the crown to the apices of the root. So this is the pulp which appears radiolucent. So this is the enamel, dentine and pulp appearing in the radiograph. So next is the radiographic appearance of the supporting structures of teeth. First is the periodontal ligament space. The periodontal ligament is composed primarily of collagen. It appears as a radiolucent space between the tooth root and the lamina dura. Usually it is thinner in the middle of the root and slightly wider near the alveolar crest and the root apex. So this is the periodontal ligament space which appears as a thin radiolucent line around the root of the tooth. Next is lamina dura. The tooth sockets are bounded by a thin radiopaque layer of dense bone which is called as lamina dura. This white line which is seen around the root is called as the lamina dura. This is the lamina dura which is well appreciated in a recently extracted socket. Next is the alveolar crest. The gingival margin of the alveolar process that extends between the teeth is apparent on the radiograph as a radiopaque line. This is the alveolar crest. The level of this bony crest is considered normal when it is not more than 1.5 mm from the cemento-enamel junction of the underside teeth. So this is the alveolar crest. Next is about the alveolar bone. We have two types of bone, that is the alveolar bone and the basal bone. The two structures are present in the alveolar bone. Well, this is the cortical bone which forms the buccal and the lingual cortical plate, and inside we have the cancellous bone or the spongy bone which is termed the trabecular bone. In case of maxilla, the trabeculae will be finer and thinner. But in case of mandible, the trabeculae will be coarser and thicker. We can see more marrow space is increased in the mandible. when compared to that of maxilla. So this is the trabecular pattern in the anterior maxilla and the posterior maxilla. You can see the trabeculae is finer and thinner when compared to that of mandible. So these are the radio-opaque structures that can be seen in the maxilla and the mandible. And these are the radiolucent structures that are seen in the maxilla and the mandible. We'll see all these in detail in the next class. Thank you.